Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Ooh.
Part 2.
Ooh.
The sequel.
Did y'all miss us?
I think they did.
I think they did too.
Definitely. Pretend Adult World Podcast. He's T. I'm Z. Not to be confused with TMZ. How's it going, man?
Ooh. Well, I'm snacking right now.
So professional.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I'm hungry. I mean,
Hey,
I ain't get them.
we're hungry in more than one way. We actually just came from a high school basketball game, Wheeler Westlake. Westlake didn't really show up. Well, one player did.
Yeah.
Chuma Okeke.
I was gonna let you say his name.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
I
know,
couldn't get
fellow
that.
African.
I was gonna say number one.
He did his thing, though. He had at least like 26, 28. Too bad the rest of the team didn't really show up.
Right.
But, you know, Wheeler's a good team.
Yeah. Got a lot of D1 talent.
For sure.
Should be exciting to see them play on Friday against Pebblebrook. Excited about that.
And the young bull. Yes.
Oh yeah, the young
Colin,
bull.
young bull Sexton. You know.
What was his parents thinking when they named him Sexton? What does that mean? Something?
I don't know.
Sexton.
It means something. I have to research that.
Google that shit real quick.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, big game Friday. Wheeler versus Pebblebrook should be exciting. But on the topic of sports, it was a big weekend.
Okay. Which game we're gonna cover first?
We're not gonna get different. We're gonna talk about the hometown team.
Okay.
Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. Ball like Julio every day. The Falcons. I can't even say beat. They destroyed the Green Bay Packers. Man.
It was a shellacking.
It really was. You know,
Old school beatdown. You know, just they never let off the pedal.
they really didn't. I kind of feel bad for Aaron Rodgers because you could tell, for me, he kind of got in that LeBron mode. And I say this, there's 3 or 4 games, or maybe 2 or 3 games in LeBron's career I've seen where the team gets down and he kind of gets in this mode where, okay, well, we might lose this game, but no one's going to say it's because
my
of
fault.
me. Right.
Yeah, I felt that from Aaron too. I really felt he was frustrated because he really didn't have any weapons this game. They got a receiver playing running back, and it's tough. I mean, I felt bad for him. You know, it wasn't the Aaron Rodgers performance we're used to seeing,
Right.
and
Now,
it showed.
Jordy Nelson, I feel like...
Oh, he balled out.
Yeah.
I think he did well, considering he came back from broken ribs that are probably still broken.
Yeah, definitely. They said they had...
You seen him out there, though? Running around. You can see all that extra padding.
Extra movie. Yeah, that
Right.
was actually one of the reports on Sunday. They were like, the Packers had Kevlar pads
Right.
shipped in.
Like, I'm looking it up. I'm like, dang, what kind of...
How does that affect his fantasy numbers? Do you know?
Well, I was trying to figure out if they got that medal from Black Panther or something. I forgot what's the name of that medal again? Somebody look that up for me.
Someone will, yeah, right. It's just us two, but someone will look it up. But yeah, I felt like Jordy Nelson played pretty well. I think Devontae Adams re-aggravated his ankle.
Yes. I mean, wow, for real.
Yeah, it was tough. Jared Cook dropped a couple of passes. There were a lot of drops, you know?
Yeah, you know, it just wasn't Green Bay's day. They really were out of character the entire game. Had a couple turnovers in the red zone that usually don't happen for them, and
Definitely.
they just never rebounded from those early turnovers. I was so upset. Like I'm like, man, y'all, I was really looking forward to Green Bay showing up, and they just let me down. But
Now,
hats off to Atlanta. They really.
that's gonna say enough excuses though.
Yeah.
Atlanta balled out, man. Matt Ryan, it's got to be the MVP, right?
No. I'm just playing. Yeah, I think he will be. He really has done I'll say a 180 from last year. Just is really willing his team to win. But then again, when you have so many weapons, how can you not be successful? Like,
What do you
Julio.
think's the difference? Do you think is it the coaching? Is it the weapons?
The difference is Julio. Julio had 190 yards receiving? I think it was 180.
Somewhere around 180.
He had a bucket. He had $1 and some change, okay?
Yes.
Close to $2.
And
But
2 touchdowns.
he is a freak of nature.
As Jalen Rose likes to say, the Millennium Falcon.
I really like that name. They need to. I'm gonna need the media to really pick up on that.
Definitely, that's a great nickname.
The
But
Millennium
he
Falcon.
can't. He really can't be stopped. Like he's.
Dang. I'm out there watching the game. He had one big catch. I think it was his second touchdown.
Yeah.
Caught the ball, shook off one guy, and just played high five with the other guy. And scored the touchdown. You know what I'm talking about?
I'll come and talk to you after I get to the end zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Excuse me, I got a reservations for 6.
Yeah. Julio is definitely all those draft picks they gave up. It seems to be paying off. So
I just need them to lose. Patriots,
look,
please, Tom Brady,
you
please.
and Jameis will have your time, just not this year. NFC South is going to the Falcons, so we take our hats off.
Congrats to the Falcons.
Congrats to the Falcons.
Making the
And
Super Bowl.
what a way to close out the last game at the Georgia Dome.
I'm just happy the Bucks beat them in the Georgia Dome.
Of course,
so.
he had to throw that in there. So, I feel like I need a moment of silence for this, but I'm gonna go.
You want to pause? You want to?
No.
DJ,
no.
can we?
No, we're
Oh,
not
okay.
gonna do that.
That's
We're gonna keep marching on, just like we will as a team.
I meant to ask you. Did you? What did you do with your terrible towel? Did you lay it to rest, or
It's still here.
did you
okay?
fold it up, put it in the drawer?
It's still here.
Oh, okay.
You know, we made it to the AFC Championship. You know, I'll take that.
All right, wait. Let's formally introduce the game. This is Steelers and Patriots.
Yes. The
Aziz, go ahead, continue, please.
You just hear the disappointment. Yeah, the Patriots won. Tom Brady had a Tom Brady game. Chris Hogan, former lacrosse player, apparently. 2 touchdowns.
How does Bill Belichick do this? How does he do it?
I don't know. He's working with Greg Popovich because they just know how to pick those players that nobody's looking at and develop them.
Well, shit, he wasn't even playing football.
Well,
Playing lacrosse.
this was the actual story. He did play football.
Yeah, I read it.
In high school,
Yeah.
didn't get the offers he was looking for, so he went to lacrosse and then played football. I think his senior year.
Yeah, like his last year.
Yeah, but
Then he walked on or something. Or...
yeah, he knows how to pick them.
A true underdog story.
Yeah.
So this guy, Hogan, right?
Chris Hogan, Hogan's Heroes.
He went off. Nothing special. I mean, Tom Brady and a couple trick plays, but this is what makes that entire franchise so good. They, top to bottom, they know how to pick players to fit their system. A Chris Hogan, a Tom Brady, who's drafted second to last pick in his draft class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, these guys are becoming household names, and they'll be tough to beat in the Super Bowl. I'm really excited, actually, to see this game. It would have been exciting to see the Falcons and the Steelers, honestly, Le'Veon, Ben, and Antonio Brown. By the way, those memes are pretty funny. So I gotta send you some of those.
Yeah,
But
after the show. This is what I want to say. Because I don't think you can really say that the Patriots were the more talented team. This is one of those, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Not to say that the Steelers didn't work hard. I just feel like we had a terrible game plan. We ran.
That's what I was about to say. It really came down to the mega minds behind the game. You got Belichick, you got Omar Epps, and Belichick, man, he just
play calling is so essential and important.
Players
in
being
football.
very fundamental. It's like a rock paper scissors game. Like
Really?
if your players execute and you get lucky and they call the wrong offensive or defensive play, then you'll win. So always go ahead. Oh, me?
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
you.
Yeah, like I said, I always compare it to rock paper scissors. But I think the Patriots are well coached and they really executed when they needed to. Like I said, they're not that much better when you look at the.
Sorry, we had another technical difficulty. We're gonna figure this out, man. It's only episode 2,
Yeah, haters want to see you struggle.
All right.
Something my girlfriend always says.
We were hacked.
We're gonna get through it.
We were hacked.
Yeah.
But you were saying.
Yeah, like I was saying, it wasn't that the Patriots were the more talented team. They just better coached. So.
Yeah. And like I said, in football, play calling is so essential because it's not like basketball where you got a guy like LeBron or Steph and like, hey, every time we come down, just get them the ball and let them work. You can't just turn around and hand the ball off to Adrian Peterson or Elliott or Bell every time. The defense is gonna adjust. So play calling is so important in football.
Yeah.
But now, so from our predictions last week, we both went 1 for 1. So it's not too bad because you picked.
Yeah, I picked the Patriots, right? You picked the Steelers
and the Falcons. So together, we predicted the Super Bowl.
All right, cool.
That's what matters. So now that
I never thought about it that way.
Hey,
All right.
we're good. Hey, we're analysts per Pretend Adult World podcast. So Super Bowl, Falcons, Patriots. What do you see in this matchup?
Man, it's the tale of two offenses.
Because neither team plays defense.
No, what's funny is I think that the Falcons' defense has really improved. They're really playing some good defense.
They're underrated.
They are. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do with Tom Brady. Man, I'm just excited to see this game. I want to see how the Patriots defense handles the Falcons' weapons. It's going to be a fun, exciting matchup. The Patriots seem to have the better defense, so I'm expecting.
So.
Oh, go ahead.
You think they have a better defense
Than the Falcons?
How, Sway?
They're just fundamentally better, or maybe they just haven't played an offense like the Falcons. So.
They played Brock Osweiler and a Le'Veon Bell with Steelers.
Well, he was playing.
He played 4 plays, if that.
What happened to him?
Groin injury.
Oh,
and he
okay.
said he had been fighting it, throughout the season, but he just felt like he couldn't go. So once he was out, Belichick was like, well, they'll double Brown, see if somebody else can make a play. So
Okay, this is interesting then, because we could say the same thing about the Falcons. They played a beat-up Seahawks defense. They played a Packers defense, which they don't play defense.
they're opportunistic.
They don't play defense. So this should be good. Yeah. Well,
They're playing in the dome, so
high scoring. I say it's gonna be a
There.
high scoring affair.
it's a track meet.
Yeah.
First team to 40.
Yeah. First team to about 35 wins.
Sounds about right.
Oh man, I'm excited, man.
I'm gonna say I think the Falcons, and of course this is a Steeler fan of me. The Falcons have the advantage because I think their defense is a little more. I'm gonna say athletic, like you said. I think the Patriots defense is a little more disciplined, but the Falcons defense has more playmaking potential. And a guy like Deion Jones and Vic Beasley and Dwight Freeney, you've got opportunities there for big plays.
Yeah, I think if Beasley can get to Tom Brady, then this should be a tough game for the Patriots. If they get pressure on the ball, they have a good chance. If the Falcons can get pressure on the ball, they have a good chance to win the game. It's crazy because Beasley's like one of the top leaders in sacks, right?
Oh yeah,
As a linebacker, that's really crazy.
They've got a good scheme going there. You got the former defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, I believe, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, leading them. Yeah, so
you don't quite have the Seahawks, talent for the defense, but he's instilled a good system there. So Atlanta's definitely doing big things for the city. I think you already know I'm going with the Falcons, of course. For
and that's fine because that's your prerogative.
It is.
So that's cool with me.
Who are you? Well, let me tell you why. One,
Oh, you know who I'm going for.
I'm taking the Falcons because I hate the Patriots. But then you got the Millennium Falcon, and then the number one reason why the Falcons are gonna win the Super Bowl, and they need to win a Super Bowl. Super Bowl is on a Sunday, right? Super Bowl
I don't
Sunday.
know. Oh yeah,
It's on a Sunday, right? So what's the next day?
Monday.
And what goes down in Atlanta on Mondays?
They came through Magic City on a Monday.
That's why they gotta win.
But they're not gonna be back until the next.
No, they're gonna be everybody. Jesse Tuggle's gonna be there. Ray Buchanan. Matt Ryan might show up. Like, I need Atlanta to win. So they can have
I got the
crowd
Patriots
start
winning. I'm just gonna cut this bandwagon short. Look, and I'm a Falcons hater. All right, it's true. Whatever. I need Tom Brady to win. I hate the Patriots too, but I need Tom to win this one.
No.
And then I can go back to hating him.
Here's another reason. Well, so if the Patriots do win, I'm starting a conspiracy theory because Tom Brady openly came out and supported Donald Trump.
Ooh.
And then kind of reneged on it, but he still said he's a friend.
Uh-oh.
So typically in the four major sports in the United States, the championship team goes to the White House.
Aha.
The Patriots are more than likely going to be the only team with a superstar that's going to willingly want to go to the White House or go to the White House. So the NFL knows this, so they're like, well, we got to make sure somebody gets there. And Tom's already, buddy with Trump, so we gotta let them win. So that's just a conspiracy theory.
This is what I told my girlfriend too. She's like, oh, we made it to the Super Bowl, rise up. And I was like, congrats. I said, you know what? I hope you guys win, so you guys can be the first team to visit Donald Trump in the White House.
Julio ain't going. I know that. I can tell you that.
Can they deny that? Like,
Oh,
can they like?
They can't because see, this is what happened.
What?
The Cavs won the championship last year, right? And they usually don't go until mid-season, but they personally requested to go to the White House before Obama's term was up. So
damn.
We're gonna see what happens. I can tell you, Julio ain't going. In the NBA, we're gonna say it's Warriors and Cavs. Steph ain't going for sure. Stephen Kerr has openly talked about not liking Trump. LeBron damn sure ain't going.
Oh, we know he not going.
So,
and if LeBron has his way, nobody from the Cavs will
nobody's going.
You know he runs that organization.
Oh, we know that. So,
okay.
We'll see. Another thing that happened or came out over this weekend, the movie Split. It's M. Night Shyamalan film.
Shyamalan Bam Bam.
Shyamalan Bam. So, if there's one thing we know about M. Night...
Let's talk a little bit about M. Night really quick, just for like 30 seconds. He's a really good director. He's talented, but he's just had a couple misses over the last several years. And he's made the worst movie ever, in my opinion. He really ruined it for me.
You ever
The Last
see Glitter?
Airbender. What?
Glitter? Attack of the Birds? It's pretty bad movies. It's probably top 5.
Was he a part of the production for that?
I gotta go back.
We
I'll go check
gotta
IMDb.
check because he might have been involved with that.
It's possible. But yeah, Split. T hasn't seen it, so I'm not gonna put any spoilers on there. But basically,
I've heard things.
you've heard things, but you
I've
don't
heard
know.
good things.
You don't know. Don't make me ruin the movie for you.
All right, don't.
But basically, I'm not gonna give it away. But one of the premise basically in the movie was that in order for people to achieve extraordinary things, they have to go through some sort of struggle, you know, or some hard time or downshift. And so this had me thinking, because I'm sure you've noticed on social media and, you know, just people around our age, how they want to popularize struggling and so on and so forth, even when they're not really struggling. So I'm wondering if maybe
Sleep is for suckers.
sleep is for suckers. But I like to sleep.
Someone just got a free pub. I'm not gonna do that again.
We're not gonna do that.
Sorry.
But so I'm wondering if maybe subconsciously, because I don't think they realize, like they're complaining, but they don't really realize it. If maybe subconsciously they're complaining because they feel like, okay, well, in order for me to achieve some sort of greatness, I have to go through some hardship, whether it be real or fabricated. What do you think about that?
It's just a cool thing to do now. You know, everybody is a quote doctor or, you know, life coach on social media nowadays. You know, I just hate that. I really can't stand that, man.
I'm not a fan of it either.
It really like bothers me, especially when you're like 20, 25. Like, you haven't lived life yet. Like,
Oh, I can't pay my cell phone bill.
You know?
It's the end of the world.
you know, you're not credible. Like, you can't make those kind of you can't give that kind of advice.
Right. You haven't been through. You don't know. It reminds me of urban culture is very popular, you know. But what you could probably tell, if you are from the hood or you ever know anybody that's really from there, nobody wants to be from the hood. They might embrace it because that's where they came from.
Makes them who they are.
Yeah, but nobody wants to be from the hood. Nobody wants to live in the hood. That's not cool, but media, society, people on the other side that don't really understand it, think that's the thing, you know?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think that, you know, like you say, like nowadays, like pop culture Hollywood has taken a hold of, you know, our urban culture and kind of made it this thing where you say everybody wants to be a part of it or claim it in some form or fashion. Look at Soulja Boy and Chris Brown. both of them think they gangsters.
Oh yeah, triple OG, double OG with cheese on the side.
So I'm actually looking forward to that boxing match, by the way, between those two.
Is it still gonna happen though? I heard Soulja Boy got upset because he felt like Floyd's promotion team wasn't moving fast enough, so he's like, I'm gonna promote the fight myself. He said on Twitter, "Hey, come to me. I'm selling tickets." So what do you think that puts in the scheduling of the fight?
Where are we at in society? You got Soulja Boy fighting Chris Brown. That's all the time I want to waste on that.
Yeah, somebody would see it. I won't. But anyway, fabricated struggles, look, you don't have to struggle in order to succeed. Now, everybody has a different, term or idea what they think struggling is, but, whether you are going through something or you're not, it doesn't have to be publicized. If you have somebody helping you, it's cool, but, don't glorify it.
Yeah.
That's how
everyone has their own journey to success, and I don't think it's fair to try to compare or say one had a tougher journey than other. I mean, some are tougher than others, but not really anyone's fault. Like you say, if you don't struggle, but you still do what you have to do, I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Doesn't mean you can't be great.
Right.
Everybody has a different path.
Right.
And as my sign says over there, follow your own path.
Ah.
Yes. Connections. So, I want to get your take on this. I was perusing, Yahoo stories, and there was this article, because they have such great articles,
Their articles
like the one about the guy
are unique. I'll just say that.
One of my favorite articles was about the guy who took out a $2 million loan for strippers and sports cars. But that's another time. That really resonated with me. But that's another time. But this particular article was basically about this social media campaign. #gaining weight is cool.
Look it up if you haven't.
Yeah,
already.
Please do.
Or if you don't know about it already.
Please do. And so, reading through the article, it was pretty much saying, there's a big problem with women and body image and body shaming in our society. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
And so, I was like, yeah, I'm totally on board with that. I agree. We have these false senses of ideals.
Right.
What some people, I'm not going to say I like all women, but I like most women. You are who you are. And you pretending to be something you're not or look like you're not, that's not going to help you, attract what you're looking for. But anyway, the campaign was basically that, to get women to let you know, hey, you don't have to be a stick figure if you gain weight or you have weight, it's okay. Which sounds like a great message, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sounded like a great message to me. And then I scroll down and I see the pictures on the articles. And then I go to Twitter and search the hashtag for the articles. And all I see is girls half naked taking pictures with their butts in the mirror. And it just looked like an excuse for girls to take pictures half naked to me. Or at least that's how
I'll say about
social media ran.
Say about 85% of these posts are side shots or just full on back shots. I mean, they're not. I want y'all to be thinking it's just girls in thongs, but
look it up.
I mean, do your own research and you guys give us your opinion, your take on it, but. I'm going to use this as a segue into that's definitely one right there.
Don't double tap that.
Oh, I'm not going to double tap. Let me just be careful with that. But
look it up.
I want to segue into something else. I feel like it's like, I don't know if it's that women are doing a lot of these. are doing a lot of these protests, and I'm happy in my own body, so that they don't feel like they're alone. You know what I mean? Like, look, if you're happy with your own body, if you don't want to be, limited or forced to be in this certain mold that society says that you should be, then don't. Like,
exactly.
And just do you. Like, these protesters are more so like, hey, I don't want to look like that, and you should be, and they're trying to like force us as men to not have a preference for what we like. It's how I'm starting to feel now. Like, it's like, okay, if I like, a woman with a big butt, and then another woman doesn't have a big butt, and I don't give her the attention to that big butt woman, now I'm an enemy. I'm
right. You like big butts.
You see what I'm saying?
I completely agree. Like, everybody has their own preference. The way I look at it, because I was just having this conversation with one of my female friends, is that, from the female perspective, if you know that a guy, or just say there's a particular guy that they might have been interested in, only goes for a certain type of girl, and you're not that kind of girl, don't try to be. That's his laws. Find somebody who appreciates you.
That's his prerogative.
That's might be the word of the day.
Right.
But that's how I look at it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I get offended sometimes when I'm scrolling through social media and I see girls making posts about, oh, I don't date guys under 6 feet.
That's what I was about to say.
By the way. Or we can't connect if your beard doesn't. Look.
Preach, brother.
Those are genetics. We have no control over that. A woman can work out and get a big butt.
And that's my other problem. It's like, look, the issues that that you're having with what men like and what Hollywood likes, it's like you can achieve that to an extent, okay, some genetics, somebody may not be able to get a big butt or big breasts or whatever, but you can still get in shape and look good. Like, why are you, because it's just like what you were saying. Okay, what if we came out with something that said,
Hashtag
guys under 6 feet still need love, or love us in all
5-10
heights.
lives matter,
right?
Okay?
What if we did that? They'd be looking at us like, what? Like, what is this?
But you know what that is? Male double standards that we don't talk about, because everyone just assumes there are no male double standards.
Yes.
And when we complain about stuff like this,
we're meninist.
Right.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I might get one of those shirts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we're not allowed to complain about anything or, have gripes, because you know what happens when you have these conversations with women or certain women. It's different. It's not the same. Nothing is ever the same.
Right.
Which,
go ahead.
Personally, and we talked about this before, not saying we shouldn't strive for equality, and so on and so forth, but because of physical anatomy and the physical difference between men and women, we're never going to be able to have full equality. There's just too many difference biologically.
Yeah.
So that's my take there.
Right. I think what we really need to strive for is just understanding that, hey, look, we're just talking on the physical standpoint. It's just not going to happen. Like I said, just our anatomies are just different, because that's just what nature has, given men and have given women, just certain different types of advantages, disadvantages, and that's just how it is.
Like, do you feel, because I know the company that I work at, they actually do give paternity leave, but do you feel that should be the same amount of time as maternity leave?
No.
And I'm okay with that.
Not, right.
But it's nice that they offer that, but we know that there's a difference. It takes a mother and a father to raise a child, but there is a difference, in the amount of care and things that are done. And
Right.
like I said, we understand that. It's okay. So
Exactly. So, like I said, like I said, women, don't think that we're trying to bash you for, standing up for your rights and for what you think should be, the right thing to do. But sometimes just think about what you're really fighting for, because are you fighting for people to change their preferences?
right.
When you're not going to change yours,
Exactly.
Like I say, are you going to date a short guy? Are you going to date a guy who beard doesn't connect, or a guy who, hairline is receding? I mean, like, it's like,
Right.
look, like, you guys have your preferences, we have ours, and it's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay.
You like what you like.
Right.
And so I like to wrap this up. Hashtag anyway this cool. Hashtag 510 lives matter. Okay, now to our pretend adult tip of the day, the PAT. The internet is your friend. Now, when I say friend, I feel like people immediately connotate, that might not be the right word.
We'll look it up later.
We'll look it up.
Editor, make sure you write that down.
But I feel like whenever you say, people don't understand how important words are. And so whenever somebody says the word friend, I feel like they immediately give it a positive meaning, which it can be. But when I think of that, I'm like, well, if you say somebody's a friend, that's a whole lot of room for interpretation. They could be a good friend, a bad friend, a sometimes friend, excuse me.
You all right? No.
Okay, getting choked up thinking about my old friends. No new friends. But, there's a lot of stuff that can go into that. And so the thing that particularly made me think about this, the internet is your friend, is that I'm a pretty knowledgeable guy. People come to me, with questions, because, I have a vast variety of knowledge, most of it useful.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you're having a face-to-face conversation with somebody, I completely understand ask questions away. But one of the things that kind of bugs me is when friends text me questions that they could have
asked,
easily put into Google or
right,
something
right.
that. Like I had a friend, we went to a concert, and she texted me the beginning of the week, hey, is the concert on Friday? Hey, where do I get the ticket? I'm like, I need you to get your life together.
Right.
Like, all these things you're texting me, like, you're my friend, and I care about you.
Uh-huh.
But all the things that you're texting me right now, you could have easily went to the internet, because the internet is your friend.
Yeah. And it's funny because I did that to you earlier. I was like, hey, what time does the Wheeler game start? And I was like, oh, never mind. I found out. You know what I mean? See, connection. But you see, I took that time to look it up myself, because I felt, as soon as I sent, I was like, this is a dumb question. Like, why am I going to ask him when I can look it up myself?
Right. Like I said, we're having face-to-face conversation, by all means.
Right,
it's
right. Like, hey, right. But like now, sometimes we ask each other stuff here on the podcast. But man, I'm sorry, we almost saw somebody get posterized. Kentucky, Tennessee game. Damn, that was anyway. Here's my thing. I always say this to my girlfriend. Baby, I love you. I'm sorry. But
hi, Rihanna. Sorry.
She always asks me questions, and I'm like, baby, why don't you just Google it? Ask Siri,
You don't always have the answer, Sway, and that's okay.
When I don't know something, I ask Google. I'm like, okay, Google. Hold up. Okay, Google. Okay, Google.
She might be sleeping.
Yeah,
right
she
now.
sleep. Yeah,
It's past her bedtime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She sleep right now. But anyway, usually that's what I do. I look it up myself. Like you say, the internet is your friend. Use your friend. They don't mind. The internet doesn't mind being used.
There's a difference between using someone and misusing someone.
Ooh.
Like that?
Yeah, that
Phil
was deep.
Wade.
That
You
was
guys
deep.
don't know who that is? Look him up on YouTube. He's a great comedian / singer. But yes, that's I got that from him. There's a difference between using people and misusing people. So, like you said, the internet's your friend. You know, could be a good friend, could be a bad friend. Because there's a lot of some good things on the internet and some not so good things.
You can't trust everything on the internet.
There you go.
Just like you can't trust your friends sometimes. So.
Exactly. But that's why you got to take the time, use the research, find out about your friends, find out about what you're looking up on the internet. You know, could be a credible source or not. Like, one thing I know, you know, I'm a big concert aficionado. And what I always tell people is, if you're going to get tickets, try to get them from Ticketmaster or from the actual venue that's selling them. Because StubHub, and yes, I'm talking to you, StubHub. StubHub is not really a ticket seller. StubHub is just people buying tickets from Ticketmaster and flipping them.
Yeah.
And so that's why I tell people it's not a trusted source for me. And here's another short story I can tell you about my unpleasantness with StubHub. A friend of mine invited me to go to a Hawks game. It's the second game of the season. A couple years ago, they were playing the New Jersey Nets. I remember this because Chris Humphrey was playing. And every time he went to the free throw line, the crowd chanted Reggie Bush. That's solidarity right there. But hey, people come together. Sports brings us all together for one reason or another.
Unified front.
Yes. But so he had the tickets printed off from StubHub. We get to the game and we go to scan our tickets. And you know what the person at the ticket gate told us?
Oh, you have already been inside.
Exactly. Like, yo, your tickets have already been scanned. And we're like, what do you mean? We just got here. They're like, oh, your tickets have already been scanned. We're like, what are we supposed to do then? So they told us to go up to the box office. We went there. The lady looked at our tickets, marked them off with a black Sharpie, and told us we could go in. So that's what we did. So we get into the game, go sit down by our seats. Lo and behold, I want to say about 10, 15 minutes later, two girls come and they're like, hey, you're in our seats. We're like, no, these are
Our seats.
our seats. Everybody pulls out their ticket and they all have the same name and the two seats on them.
Wow.
And so, like, that's because when you buy tickets from StubHub, well, they're supposed to. They'll have the name of the person who originally bought the ticket on there. So, luckily, it was a Hawks games 2 years ago, so nobody was there. So we just all sat, in the same row. But if this had been, a more crowded game, who knows what would have happened? Which I called StubHub and asked them about this because I had to buy tickets from StubHub for a concert a year or two after that because it sold out, and I really wanted to go. And I called them and asked them about this, and they said, "Oh, well, if this ever happens, which it normally doesn't," but I'm like, "Hey, it happened to me."
Right. I'm the exception.
I'm the exception, right? They said that you're either to call them. You call them immediately, and they'll either find you a ticket of the same price, or
Give you your money
better,
back.
or
Refund
give you refund you. But the refund is supposed to be like the very last, option.
Right.
Which I'm like, that still sounds fishy to me. Like, if I want to go to the show, I want to go. Like,
Right.
it's obviously where I'm spending my money to go. So. When it comes to the internet as your friend, StubHub is a bad friend. I want you all to know that. But that's my story. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I mean, I agree with you, Use the internet wisely. It's a great resource. I mean, just be smart. Use common sense, and yeah, that's about it.
Sounds good. All right. Internet is your friend. So, we've gotten to the section of the podcast. Get out your 9 irons, your drivers, your putters. It's tea time. T, the floor is yours.
It's tea time, everybody. This is a part of the podcast where I just kind of talk about whatever's on my mind for an extended amount of time. So this week, I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart.
What's on your mind?
Star Wars just announced the new name of the movie coming out
I did
end of
see
this
that.
year. The Last Jedi. What does it mean? I need to know. I can't wait.
Well, you got 11 months, so you're gonna have to wait. But
I'm so excited. A lot of things about this. So first off, something very interesting was that they did the font, the Star Wars font, different this time around. They made it red instead of the typical white, which was very interesting because, it just, man, it made me think about a lot. First off, I'll start off. Let me just finish with that. That red, I think it may symbolize some type of darkness or evil, or I'm just dying to know. The Last Jedi, I think it's referring to Luke Skywalker being the Last Jedi. In one of the earlier movies, I think episode 7, Yoda said to Luke, like, after I die, you'll be the last Jedi. Last Jedi you will be. I think he said it's like that.
sounds like Yoda.
Yeah. So, and even in the what do they call that? The roller, or like the rolling credits in the beginning of the movie that they typically do for every Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It even said in the last one was like Luke, the Last Jedi. So I'm just leaning that the movie is going to be mostly about Luke. Anyway, that's really all I had to say about that. It just was, something I saw a couple of days ago. Just wanted to share it with my pals, and be on the lookout for that. December 2017. I'll be there. Oh, one other thing I did want to talk about as well.
Okay. Extended tea time.
Yes. Watching college basketball here. It's Kentucky versus Tennessee.
Wait. Before you continue, shout out to Shambari. He's not really a legend, but he did play 5A. So, like I told you guys, be on the lookout for that. But go
was
ahead.
that him who just said it? I almost had an and one.
That one.
All right, no, it's not him. Never mind. All right. Watching the game, and this is a very entertaining game. Right now, Tennessee is up by 2 with less than 3 minutes. Well, about 3 minutes to play. I just noticed something about Nike here. They're really switching the style up. What the hell is going on with the jerseys? Like, what is up with this baby tank top looking cut? Yeah, design. Looking like they all wearing G-Unit tank tops out here, man. Could somebody answer this for me, please? It's only most of the Nike jerseys are like this. So Kentucky's wearing this spaghetti strap looking tank top of a jersey.
It's great for Euro steps, man.
I don't know what they're doing with it. Like, it's showing a lot of their chest and
Look, there's only one thing that goes with that haircut, and it's a spaghetti strap, okay? So
look, see what it just did? He almost hurt himself trying to take a jump shot because can't breathe. You can't breathe when you're shooting.
Nike, if you need some help with jerseys, just hit us up at pretendadultworld.com. Tia send you some suggestions.
Yeah, sometimes I just feel that in sports, this will be the last little thing. I just feel like the designers try to do too much sometimes. Like, it's okay to stick to the traditional look. The only reason I feel they do this is to sell, new paraphernalia, new jerseys, new products. And they keep coming out the same thing over and over, then, they're not making a profit. So, but some things I just say no to. And it's a hard no. Like, it's not going to work.
Well, college sports is a business, a big business. But that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Definitely another podcast. This is gonna wrap it up though. Pretend Adult World, episode 2. The internet is your friend. He's T, I'm Z, not to be confused with TMZ. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Appreciate y'all listening. Shout out to Dina, one of our 15 listeners, I think.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate